Welcome Empire fans to tonight's podcast with Coach Rob Woodward. Coach, congratulations on your win against Columbus Bishop Reedy. And exciting game there at Ed Miller Stadium. What did you take away from the film as you guys looked over it?
Thanks, Gene. Obviously, our defense played a lights-out game in terms of shutout on the board, but just bringing the physicality of play that we've come to establish at Wheelsburg football style. It's always been there, just enhancing it more. We got some players that just really love to hit, love to attack, love to play downhill, and I thought our guys did a great job of that. Our front six, Nick Parsley and Alex George at two ends, and C.J. Hall and Cooper just dominating that line of scrimmage, and then Xander and Evan Dahm behind them. Xander and Evan had really minimal tackles because they weren't, our front guys were taking care of what needs to be done up front and limiting the tackles that they were able to make. And then back in the secondary, I thought we did a great job back there as well. The pressure we were putting on him was forcing some balls kind of to be misthrown a little bit, and then, guys back there, Tanner Holden came up with a big interception, but Cole Howie had a chance at one. Nick Parsley actually had a chance at one, too. So I just thought our defense played lights out. And then offensively, we were just working, trying to, it always takes some time to establish. We're playing good football teams now that are working to establish their own defensive recognition of what we're trying to do. And then Coach Caskey's done such a good job, and all of our offensive coaches are finding little tweaks that we can to change up how we're doing it based on what the team's giving us. And I thought, we were able to put 14 points up early there. Took that second quarter to kind of work through some adjustments they made and some adjustments we needed to make, and then came back out there in the second half, and just those next two drives were just really statement drives that we needed to have. And I thought overall I was very pleased with the performance.
We don't really talk about scouting reports prior to a playoff game, but I think most people knew that you had to take care of that Jack Foley kid who has predominantly had a great year, and you guys seem to always find an answer for a tough back like that.
Yeah, our guys stop the run. I mean that's when you play high school football, you got to be able to stop the run, and to be good teams, you got to be able to run the football, and we recognize that. And that's what our number one key is. But we're all the time trying to make sure that our guys are in the right position to be able to defend anything that they may throw at us. We rarely put ourselves in a situation where we don't have somebody covering. There's defenses out there that gamble. We rarely gamble too much without having somebody else covering his back. And I thought the choices we made at certain times to bring blitzes in areas were well calculated and were very effective. But we also had other people there that was really covering, that blitzer off the outside. Coach Johnson does a great job of orchestrating and really trying to look at where he wants to take his chances and bring people, and does a very good job, him and Coach May, of really dialing down and figuring out where that needs to be and when that needs to be. And it's proved very effective for our players.
We got tickled a little bit, Coach. One of the plays we kind of laughed at Avery Denini there, the sheriff as we like to call him, because he got up kind of celebrating a little too early on one of the plays, and you took him off and kind of chewed on him a little bit there. But then he goes back in and pretty much dominates one play. And I know you guys are always on your kids, but you got to be excited of just the passion that those kids bring.
They're high school kids, and they work so hard. I tell them all the time, you work so hard, you deserve to be excited, but you got to learn how to make sure that you're expressing that. OHSA does a great job of making sure that they keep players contained and confined, and Avery's not doing anything that is not too over the top, but at the same time, it doesn't exemplify what we want to represent. His excitement, and he recognizes that. We talked about that. You're right, it was a great block. He was overly excited on that and didn't get a chance to continue blocking on the play. But golly, you go back and you look at what out in the ball game. He graded out a +11 in that game. When we look at how we grade every single one of our players, I told him I took 6 away from him for his celebrations or his antics after a play, but then I told him I was joking with him because he did play an outstanding game, and he plays a lot of different areas for us, special teams as well as defense and offense reps in there. And Avery's become a very, very good player for us, and all of our guys. And we want him to be excited, but we want him to make sure that excitement is addressed towards one another and never addressed towards the other team. Or while you want to, you want the crowd involved, that too has to be limited. You got to have it, make sure it's with one another.
Coach, you move on to Columbus Academy, and again, we'll keep the scouting reports between you guys. But do you like the venue that was chosen for the Pirates?
I do. Chillicothe is great. I think it's a great location between the two. It's an easy drive for us. I'm not sure exactly how far it is for them. I'm assuming it's about the same. But Coach Hinton there at Chillicothe, it's a place that we scrimmage them every year. So I'm familiar with it. We've been there and played in the playoff game before. We were in the visitors' locker room while our fans were on the home side against Hartley. We were in the visitors' locker room. But, boy, did we play a heck of a game there the last time that we stepped on that field for a playoff game. So, they've made some improvements there in terms of some parking as well as restroom facilities. So I know that they've done a lot of upgrades. Those are all things that we're not a part of, but this year we'll be in the home side, their home locker room, that is. And I know Coach Hinton and his staff and everybody will take care of both teams. And it's a nice surface, a nice place to play. And I think it'll be a great night for football.
Coach, any final thoughts before we get off here this week?
Eugene, I'm just excited to continue our season again. Week 12, there's just something about when you get in the playoffs. Our kids feed off of the energy. Our kids are, I counted today, there we were, 70 strong, working out. We had a couple people missing for maybe a sickness here or different things, but we've got some of our freshmen that are already practicing some basketball, but they still dress with us on Friday nights. But anyway, we've got we had all those guys out there practicing, and of course the weather's been good to us here, but it's just so great to see them out there, and the excitement and energy that our captains always bring. I talk about that a number of times. Those guys are out there having fun on the football field. They're out there excited. They want to keep playing, and our coaching staff, we got together this week and love preparing for another team and a chance to go out and represent our community, and we're all excited for that, and looking forward to this Friday night.
That's Coach Rod Woodward with this week's Coach podcast. If you can't make it, hopefully you can get up there to Chillicothe. Great venue, great places to eat. Try to get up there and support your Pirates, but if for some reason you can't get up there, you can tune into BirdFan.com, and kickoff is at 7:30. Go Pirates!
Go Birds!